Tipflation is the reason why diners will tip less in 2025. Why does it feel like I'm being asked to tip absolutely everywhere?
What is tipflation, first of all?
Tipflation is now the widespread requesting or expecting of tips in industries which normally it doesn't belong. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. I went to pack and ship. It was just Christmas. I went to ship my my items.
Yeah.
And there was a tip jar on the counter. I wasn't expecting it. Why is there a tip jar at the pack and ship? So that's what tipflation is. It's wearing people out.
Yeah.
Where normally you tip at a restaurant or
a bar or, multiple places.
Multiple places that you expect it.
Yeah.
And now everyone is asking
Everybody,
for
it. And I've noticed it more and more since the pandemic.
Okay. Interesting.
Is when I started to notice it more and more, like particularly after the pandemic. Like during the pandemic, everybody was an essential worker. So I felt like we tipped people for stuff that we'd never tipped people for before because we were appreciative of the service that they were doing for us in the middle of something that's never happened before. Does that make sense?
True. It does.
It was very it was unprecedented. So we were going through a situation, and those people, like you said, like people that were shipping stuff and stuff like that, they were the only people that were working.
True.
So yes, we did tip them, and you could see why you tipped them because you were just happy to get your package. and those packages at the time were food. They were essential things. So when you look at it that way, when back during that point, it made sense. But we're past that point.
Listen.
And I think it's still happening is what's really going on.
Okay, we're going to investigate it. So in today's episode, we're going to go through the factors that are influences customers' behaviors and their sentiment towards tipping and how that's going to change the landscape moving forward to 2025 and beyond. And I believe it's going to negatively
impact our world. Yes. Absolutely.
Let's go through a lightning round, and you're going to tell me if you have tipped or what you thought about in these different situations, because the first theory that I have that causes tipflation is tip confusion.
Yes.
Do I tip? Do I not tip? Why is there a jar here? I'm angry. There's a delivery fee. And so what are you asking me for here?
I got you.
Right?
And I'm going to, while we're talking about it, when you give me the questions, I'm going to say either pre-COVID or after, or just say, hey, I might base it on both sides.
Okay.
And give you an answer.
You answer how you answer.
Okay.
Okay. Now, obviously you tip a bartender.
100%. All the time. Pre and after.
What about the hotel front desk clerk?
I have, but it happened more so after than before.
Okay. Fast food takeout.
Not 20%, not a set amount, just what I have. Like if there's like a little jar, say I go to Chipotle, it's $24, I gave him $25. No, let's say it's $23, I gave him $25. I'll give him my change.
Now that's a sticky one because someone has to assemble the takeout and things like that, and whether it's a part of service and you're tipping for it, or is a part of.
Now, if it's at a restaurant, like a regular spot, maybe like an Outback, I'll leave 10%.
Okay.
It's usually my normal.
Okay.
Now, but like at fast food. Like you said, fast food. So with something like that where it's always been assembled, and trust me, I never tipped before COVID.
Okay.
So, but after the fact that you saw more and more jars popping up, I had no problem. I had no problem leaving a little bit here and there, but I'm not gonna go and leave a set amount, if that makes sense.
Okay. And so that really goes along with my theory of tip confusion.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that I said this was going to be a lightning round. I guess it's not. I'll tell you about some research to go with the to-go orders. 49% of Americans do not tip on to-go orders. And 51% of do tip on to go on fast food to go.
Now are we just saying like I said like 10%, or is there a set amount, or are they just saying they're tipping and that's all?
They're tipping or not tipping.
Okay.
They're picking it up. They're coming to you.
They're doing the legwork.
The stuff. Yeah, they're doing the legwork.
All you really did was cook it in the kitchen, which is fine.
It's a little sticky situation in my mind because I like to tip. I just give them a couple bucks.
Yes.
And you keep it moving.
I'm the same way.
That way, I'm covered.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm walking away without tipping, I kind of feel that,
yes.
That that tip confusion that we're talking about. Was I supposed to? Do I not?
Exactly.
What's the case may be. So that is a very real thing. And we're not talking about, oh, this morally you should tip or not tip and things like that.
Not at all.
I belong to the service industry.
Yes.
I'm a waiter.
So we kind of take care of our own in our own respect, of course.
And we're not knowledgeable in, let's say, do you tip the hotel, the cleaning staff?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's expected and normal and understood, right?
Yeah.
It's built in. What about if furniture delivery comes to you and there is a delivery fee? Do you tip the drivers?
No, but there are situations where I would.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not like, like I was more thinking like, it depends on their demeanor and if they're nice or, across the board.
Guy comes to install your cable and internet.
No. That dude makes like $40 an hour, yeah.
Oh, wow. What about the ride share?
Huh?
Like an Uber, Lyft,
Yeah,
ride share?
yeah, I tip on rideshare.
Okay.
Because that's the same as like that's a taxi. To me, that's a service. You paid for the trip itself, but like with anything, we've been in plenty of Ubers, and we've had good Ubers and bad Ubers.
Yeah.
And when somebody is engaging and they can kind of give you nuggets when you leave, they deserve that tip. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I like to think of it.
And when they grab your bags, like when you go to the airport, it's always good when somebody, they pop out the car, lift the trunk up for you. To me, that's service. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't need them to open the door, they still do it. Those little things is what you appreciate. It makes you feel good. And I think that's what I thank
them.
Yeah,
it's a way
absolutely.
of thanking them. What about your grocery store bagger?
No. I don't think you're allowed to, actually. Well, at least at Publix, you're not allowed to.
But they take it anyway.
They will, but yeah.
Yeah, they're not allowed. But
Yeah.
If they walk it out to my car, I definitely do.
Yeah.
What about airport baggage handler?
Outside? Like
porter.
Yeah, like when you like a valet.
Sky cap. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause that's a valet service. That's a service that's made for that situation.
True.
You get out your car, they're grabbing your stuff, they're putting it in. It's expediting as something that you have to do inside on your own.
All right.
So that's why I have no problem doing that.
Hairdresser or barber?
Every time.
Doctor's office?
No.
No. Retail store associate?
Negative, Big Bopper.
Your tour guide?
Yes.
Just going through that exercise, you see where tip confusion is a
Absolutely.
real thing. Now, the second reason why I think that this is going to
Would you
impact
lose your
us-
mind if you went to the doctor's office and you saw a tip jar?
I did a reel on that because I saw this woman didn't want to give back the guy's credit card because he didn't leave a tip.
At a doctor's office?
Yes.
Are you
I'll show it to you.
joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look at that on break room another time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
we can.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I want to see that one.
Okay. Sounds good. Oh, he was heated.
Oh, I would be
Give me
too.
back my card.
Yeah.
I'd have just left. Cancel the card.
Yo, could you imagine?
No.
Oh, no. Anyways.
Not at all. So tip confusion. The next one is tip fatigue.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
I'm tired right now of seeing tips everywhere.
Right.
And the problem is, it makes you feel obligated. I don't think anybody should ever feel obligated to, yes, even when you are obligated, like in a restaurant, I don't want you to feel like you are. I want you to feel happy that you're giving me money because I gave you a service. We had a good time across the board. And if I had failed you in any way, we do this for a long time. If we failed a guest, we're not even expecting a tip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because especially if we know we failed the guest. And I mean, you've been down there where you're like, yo, in my head, like,
Yeah, I've messed up.
I messed up, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
fucked this shit up. I don't think we're getting anything. I'm just gonna warn you ahead of time. I don't know if we're gonna get anything on this
Yeah,
table.
and half the time you
You
more
do.
than half you get
something. And
you get something and you get depending on where you work. I think a lot of times I look at it like this: people tip or people don't tip.
Absolutely.
And people that don't tip look for reasons
Not to tip. It could be the best service, and they're gonna try to find a way out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So now the tip fatigue, you go and you pay with the card and they spin the screen around and they're asking for a tip, 20%,
Yeah.
30%, 5%, whatever, custom. And you're just enough of it already. I'm tired of tipping everywhere.
Where?
Right? So it's very similar to tip confusion, but you get the idea.
Absolutely.
Now, what are some of the driving forces for tipflation as well? Inflation,
Yes.
right? Your money's not going as far anymore, and here you go being asked for tips. And inflation really hurts people because they think they're constantly thinking about it and they're emotionally attached to how prices used to be.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I'm still attached to prices of gas when I was a kid.
Oh man. Well, here's the thing. I find that gas to me,
gas fluctuates, which is
right.
Yes.
The thing that bothers me with inflation is food.
Oh yeah.
Right? Gas, for some reason, it goes wild.
It goes crazy, which is okay.
Usually, if you bought a box of spaghetti for $1.39, it's not going to be $1.80 the next day.
No.
And then
then 99 cents
the next
exactly.
the day after
it
that.
don't bounce around like that.
Right.
Exactly.
So I'm nose blind to it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's just gas.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
But the food.
Yeah.
When you came 2 weeks ago.
And then you paid, let's say you paid for your normal package, and you might get the same package every week, okay?
Mm.
Like I go to a restaurant, I know what my amount is because me and my daughter order the same thing when we go there. Okay.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like
This is interesting.
$50.80. That's usually what it breaks down to.
How
every
much?
Time. $50.80.
Okay.
We both get an entree. We both get these two little appetizers.
$50.80.
Yeah. So it breaks down to the same price every time. If I were to walk in there, right, and it was $60, like, $55,
yeah.
I'd be like, you would look up like, yo, what just happened? And that is, I feel like, is what happening at the grocery store where, you might get the same thing every week, this cereal, this XYZ, and then, you go think, you're like, oh, wait. It has been $60. I budgeted out this $60 in my head.
Right.
Okay. Now it's 80 or 75. You're like, what is going on?
Yes.
I didn't get anything different.
Yes. Your cell phone service, your bills, they start creeping up. Your internet.
Have you ever noticed, like, when you look at your bills, like, did that year pass already? You can get the deal or whatever, like when it comes to like internet or whatever, or even your cell phone. Did that year go by? Then you're calling like, yo, what can we do to fix this?
Right. Right. I'm willing to walk.
Yeah.
What you got for me. Right. And so tipflation and shrinkflation.
Yeah.
Them bag of chips used to be, like a can of soda used to be 12 ounces. Now it's 11.5.
Yeah. Everything is less, yo.
Everything is less.
Like I think we talked about with wings one time. We're talking about, it used to be a standard 10-piece. Now it's almost an 8-piece everywhere you go.
So it's going both ways. It's
the price is going up, and then the size is going down.
Yes.
So you're not getting any more. You're getting less value for more money.
Let's say you're having a 64 ounce of apple juice.
Yeah.
It's not 64 ounces anymore.
They're like 56 now.
Right?
Have you noticed that?
Yes, I've noticed that.
Crazy.
They're doing all the tricks. They're bubbling the bottom of the bags of chips are getting bigger and bigger.
Yo. And it has way more air.
I could fold down, just open up the thing,
cut in half,
fold it down.
Half. Easily half. It might even be more.
It might be more. And so inflation, shrinkflation.
Yeah. And I think that's how how they get away with only. So they've raised it up a couple cents, right? Not much to where you're not like, okay, the price isn't too far off. But then when you look at like what so at Tropicana, they're orange juice now. So it used to be the cartons, 64 ounce, right?
Yes.
Now they come in like a little thing. Okay.
They changed the packaging.
They changed the complete packaging. And it's probably like 46 ounces, yo, maybe 50 ounces.
Yo.
And it's the same price, though. The price didn't change. The size changed. So for way less, I'm getting the same price.
Yo, they got me with the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Used to be the tray was this. Now the tray got plastic instead of cookies. Okay?
That's crazy.
You right? So
you're missing a whole row?
No, the row's not complete. The row has like
has little indentures?
Yeah.
No way. They thinned them?
Yo, they screw you with the packaging.
Yo, that is crazy.
Yes.
Got you. And you don't even. And the worst thing about Girl Scout is you don't know if you open that motherfucker up. You don't know at all. So you're already paid and you're gone. They got your little $5, $6, whatever, $6, $7, wherever it is now.
No, it's gotta be 7, 8 by now.
Yeah, and then you grab it. You don't even notice you get in the car because even if you're hungry and you want it right away, you're not opening it until you get in the car. You're not gonna open it right in front of them. And so by the time you open, you're like, oh, they got me.
You ever get the knockoffs? Because mine is the Samoas.
Okay, your Samoa,
right? Which are called Caramel Delights. I think they're called in different regions, but there's the Samoas, the purple box. And I see them stuffs on like they're knocked off in the store.
Oh, yo, for sure.
So I don't need the Girl Scout cookies.
No, you don't.
I don't need to work. Wait.
No. And they're more expensive with the Girl Scouts. because you feel like you're doing a service. You know, before
That's true.
these
It
cute
is
little
$7 a
girl,
box.
yeah, when you go to the store, that's $3, okay? and that's me being on the high end.
Yeah, right? I'm telling you, them cookies is knocked off
Got
now.
you.
Poor women. The final thing that I believe is negatively impacting us is that businesses are using tips to supplement
Way more than they ever have before.
wages. Yes. And so as the consumer, we are saying, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Why is this? Why is that? Why is this? And so we're getting to be where it's just another tip instead of, oh, this was great service in the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm going to tip.
Yeah, because it's affecting us across the board too. Because think about we have to tip out more people or a higher percentage now, which goes to which is spread around the restaurant where it wasn't before. You know, this was an hourly.
Now we're tipping out. So we're dealing with the tipflation as well.
Absolutely.
That's a great point.
Yes.
Yeah, so you servers out there, tell me who you're tipping out besides bussers and bartenders and food runners.
Yeah.
Because are you having to tip out the kitchen? Are you having to tip
out
out
the
the hosts? And that's a very real thing. So you can reach out to me. I'm on Instagram at The Modern Waiter Podcast. I'm themodernwaiter@gmail.com, or do a comment on if you're listening on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let me know how tipflation is affecting you. We do this for you each and every week. I'm Marlon Joseph, The Modern Waiter.
I'm Danny Villain. Subscribe, people.
We will see you next week.
Later.
Money is the root of all evil. You may find yourself right now asking yourself, why is that so? You see,